Hello guys and welcome to KSP, the tourism series. Now this series is a new series where I thought we would try and go and put kind of like a sightseeing tourist attraction around every planet, every moon, and also on the planet, on the surface of every planet and moon possible. So yeah, it's going to be a long series. It's just given us really something to do in Kerbal Space Program again until the new one comes out, which obviously was delayed once again. So if you do like this, please do subscribe and leave a like. Let us know that you like this series and to keep it going really. Apologies if I sound a little off. I do have a cold, so I really apologise about that. Yeah, anyway, this rocket, so we're starting off strong. We're obviously going to go with it because the new part for the ground anchor isn't out yet. We're just going to go for the orbiting tourist places. So first of all, our first port of call has to be a Kerbal space station, doesn't it? So we've just got the main body here on what we're going to try and use as a reusable rocket. You will see in a little bit how well that goes. So yeah, we've got the main body in here. Now, what I want to do with this series, I want to build everything with the Kerbals as much as possible. So I've just loaded it up with a load of stuff. I've loaded up a load of cargo areas. I'll show you once this fairing separates here. If it would separate, but it seemed to have gotten stuck on a bit of a flag, so that's really annoying. I thought they'd fix that, to be honest, but obviously not. Yeah, flags look a bit weird how they just float off the surface of the surface of the fairing. But yeah, you get what's going on here. So we're just getting into orbit. Yeah, and we've got a load of cargo sections on this main body of the station. So that is just holding all the equipment we need to build out this station and make it a functioning space station. Tourist place, kind of. Let us know how we should add things to this. This is totally stock, by the way. I do like playing in stock. I don't really like mods. I lose track of them and I can't update them, and it's just awkward. I do like the new engine plate that they've added in this new release, where you can put a new multiple nodes on, so you can see I've got 4 engines there on this first stage. It makes everything so much easier and so much like simple rockets too. So yeah, we're just waiting for this burn to circularize. We're going for about 100-kilometer orbit for this station. I was going to go for a geosynchronous orbit, but the first stage is always going to have to be really heavy to get the tourists up to the station. So, and I want to build like a single stage to orbit for the tourists to get there. So we're not going to do that for now. So we'll do the circularization burn, and we've literally just got enough spare fuel to get this thing back. It's really designed with just enough fuel to get into orbit and home. So yeah, we'll just finish off that little burn, make the camera correct, because I don't know why it goes into auto. Why? We don't want the camera in auto, do we? So we'll disconnect the station, go back to the booster, and aim retrograde. Yeah, I put some RCS fuel on board the first stage and forgot to put RCS nozzles on. So yeah, it is really slow, but it does have a reaction wheel, so that's always helpful in this sort of situation. I was just boosting to get away from the station at this point because I wanted to time warp round to nighttime so we can start our descent. So we're coming in on at daytime because it's going to be boring if it just comes in the dark and you can't see anything. So yeah, set manoeuvring over around this side so we can come in during the daytime. Right, there we go. Set up that manoeuvre. put it, decrease it a little bit more. I do want to get close to the Space Center as possible. So we'll just time warp around. And I think the visual effects were affecting the lag last time in the last video. You know what I mean. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions for the series, I mean, I really like the idea of having Kerbals tour around the solar system, different stations, different planets. So we're gonna have like little ferries in between each of the stations as well. So the moon and Kerbal will have a little tug that'll take the tourists to and from. Then they'll transfer into a little lander type thing. I don't know. I've got loads of ideas. It's just to get back into Kerbal Space Program without having to do a career, because I really hate the contracts in Korea. I know there's realism overhaul you can do. I mean, if you guys want to see us do realism overhaul, then let us know. But it just looks like so much hard work. I really don't know how to do it. Yeah, I just put the. I wanted the boost first stage here to come back in kind of flat, like I don't know, as a telegraph pole, just to increase the drag as it came through, because I did try this before and it took forever to actually slow down. It just does not produce enough drag when it's engine first because of how slim it is. I know that's weird, but yeah, I wanted it to tumble, but it just really didn't want to tumble. For the first time ever in Kerbal Space Program, my craft did not want to tumble. So I tried to use the air brakes a little bit. I didn't know how resistant they were to temperature, and obviously not that resistant because they do heat up quite a bit. As you can see there, we're not slowing down very rapidly. And the air brakes did start to burn up. So I thought we'll put some throttle on, slow us down a little bit quicker. I'm going to just try and ditch in the ocean. But thinking about it, ditching in the ocean in Simple Rockets 2 works. Kerbal Space Program, not so much. Not so much. But yeah, our engine started heating, so I put the air brakes out again, and yeah, it seemed to work. It seemed to slow us down quite a bit. The air brakes really do work very effectively. I mean, I was quite impressed for our first try creating like a one booster launch system, that this worked so well. Normally it takes us so many times to get this thing right. It is crazy. But coming down there, just time warp through this because it is just painful to watch in real time because it's actually coming really slow. And you can see we've got just enough fuel, really. We've got enough delta V to cancel out the current velocity we have. So that's always good. Not to say that I'm the best pilot and realise I should have had more throttle on to begin with. As you can see here, I kind of panicked with the throttle and then run out of fuel last second. And everything's gone. I mean, I see that we recovered that. Right? Well, yeah, we've got to have recovered that really. But anyway, back to the Space Center for us, and we are now going to go and build up our space station. So now we have our space station in orbit, in the orbit we want. We are going to put this to a normal heading. Oh, actually, should we go radial? Radial works better with solar panels because they then adapt to the sun better. So yeah, it's always better to go radial. So here we go. Now, I wanted these to extend. I didn't know how they worked. I was like, oh, I wonder what happens when I actually press these. And I didn't realise that's what they do when you ask them to do some science. They kind of retract and extend. And yeah, it's weird. I just wanted them out for sure, really. So I just enabled them. And that one went back in. For some reason, it's so strange. So annoying. Right, so we'll get Bill out here. Is this Bill? The engineer one? He didn't quite touch the ladders properly, so we had to scoot down a little bit. So first of all, so we've got some docking ports in here. I forgot how to do them. I forgot how to build. Yes, that's it. The building construction panel there. Now you can only move certain things as well, so that's quite annoying. I thought you could literally move anything, so I was putting fuel tanks in and things, and it wouldn't have it. It wouldn't have any of it, so I was quite annoyed about that. That's what I was really hoping to do with this series, is build absolutely huge ships in orbit. And the thing is, symmetry and stuff isn't a thing, so that is quite annoying. So what I did, I used a line of the container to align these to be symmetrical. I mean, as symmetrical as possible. And there's certain things that don't snap properly as well. Like, look at this. Look, what angle is that? So what I had to do is snap them on the top and rotate them round to look pretty efficient and to work, obviously. I do like these new solar panels. I don't necessarily like the huge boxes, but I did want to use them, and they do give off quite a good aesthetic, so I did like to use these. So we'll put that on the top there. Rotate that down. There we go. So as well, we want to extend these. We can just extend them, can't we? So extend them, and there we go. Our station is already getting pretty cool looking. Next we will add some radiators, and I kind of wanted them coming off these beams. This is how I first imagined it when I started putting the parts in the containers that I needed to take up. Let's look at that. Just the ability to do this is so cool. RCS tanks, couldn't decide where to put them. I decided we'll put them here. They don't have to be symmetrical because we're not launching this craft. So that is a positive. It's a big positive. So yeah, we're just adding the rest of this stuff. So there we go, we added everything. I'm just making sure all the Kerbals are in a comfortable location. So transfer them into the what do you call it? Hitchhiker's storage container? Yeah. I'll just put them all in there to make them a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, there's our basic station for Kerbal. It's not the best tourist site, and it should be expanded for more tourists. But for what it's needed to be, it is pretty functional and it looks cool. So next on the list of things to do is create a new ship, which is the tug that's going to go from the Mun to the Kerbal station. And also take our first lot of tourists up. So what we're doing here, we don't want it to be coming in and out or landing of atmospheres or anything like that, so we're just going to make it totally vacuum proof. I wanted 2 lander cans just because of the way I like how they look, and I thought separating them with a battery like that would look cool. Putting 2 tanks, one for RCS and one for fuel, like so, would look more symmetrical. Now I had a really big debate about which engines to use, And then I found that one where it actually has the single variant, and I really like it. I like the look of it, and it did provide us with quite a lot of Delta V to play with. So I left that, and we also want some solar panels because we don't want this thing to be left stranded out in the middle of, I don't know, God knows where. So yeah, this is the Space Tug, and this will get our first tourists up to the Kerbal station. We also want this. Right, then we want to create our tourist Kerbal, so I went ahead and entered the cheat menu and did that and created them, give them all the new spacesuit because I think it looks cool, and for tourists that's kind of what I want to represent them in, is the, you know, the new dragon style spacesuits. So yeah, I thought that was cool. And there we go. They are all set, ready to go. We'll just sort out this staging, make sure that's correct, and we'll save that. Obviously this footage is sped up just for your viewing pleasure. And here we go again with the same booster. There is not much adjusting needed doing. I try to set a waypoint for like linking up with the station with the new tools, but it just didn't seem to work, so I just did it old fashioned way. And here we go. What I realised though, I hadn't put on craft what do you call them, craft labels, so I couldn't actually see where this craft was. I had a hard time trying to dock with the thing because I had no idea where it was. I couldn't see the thing. It's only small in reality. So yeah, it was a hard time. I had to go back in. I only just realised, and also me orbit line was terrible. It wasn't ectorial at all. So yeah, I had to go into the menu, put that setting back on, and get close to the station. So yeah, after a lot of issues getting resolved to get here, we are finally here. We used quite a bit of fuel, more than I should have needed to use, to be honest, but yeah, it works. And we also, I forgot when I was recording this, I forgot to get the booster from the orbit and landed. I just kind of left it there, so we'll have to come back for that in the next one. So we'll just link up to this. There we go. It wasn't the best approach, but nonetheless our tourists are now on the Kerbal station, and we will be adding more tourists as time comes, as we build bigger bases. Hopefully the anchor comes out soon so I can build a moon base or a polar base on Kerbal, and we'll get some interesting crafts for that. We're just transferring them up into the station now, and we're transferring the original crew, which is Bill, Jeb and Bob, or Bill and Jeb, I think it was only the two, Bill and Jeb, back into the Space Tug, because they will go off to the moon once the moon station is built, hopefully in the next one. So yeah guys, if you do enjoy this series, please let us know down below. If you've got any ideas, also let us know, and if you did, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, really appreciate it. We need all the help we can get now because the channel has slowed down a lot, and that's mostly due to me, so I'm sorry about that. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.